Happy Tuesday everyone and welcome to the second match of the Providence Invitational. Second quarterfinal between Gordiniroy and the buff guy. A first 3-point affair, first to 3 map wins affair to see who plays some random person in the semifinals later this week. And joining me is Gunther. It's very early for him, but so happy to see him here. Welcome.
Yes, hello. Thanks so much for having me. It's early for me, but it's early for Buff Guy too, because we're in the same time zone.
Yeah, I just so interesting to see sometimes how his time zones work out. We joked about it a couple of days ago, or even last night, that he's an honorary European Union member with the hours he's active in.
Yeah, very much so. And I mean, okay, so and for fun, you are a high-level competitor. When do you prefer to play your more obscure time matches? Do you prefer real late at night, or do you prefer real early in the morning like this?
It's a very little sample size, but I just fall apart when it gets too late, like the 2 a.m. type of situation. I just cannot compete anymore, and I haven't had an 8 or 10 a.m. match, or that's like it's not quite early for some working people. But, that would be another different challenge. I'm hoping not to see that point because I try to be available for most hours, but it will happen eventually. But glad they made it in, and so it is 4 a.m. for the buff guy, 11 a.m. for Gordiniroy, and the start of the match is already here. What do we have, Gunther?
Well, we have Viktor Novikov with a loud sniper rifle while disguised as the vampire magician, and we have Dalia Margolis with a neck snap while disguised as the tech crew.
Oh, such nice duality. Probably a very easy Dahlia kill and a very specific and loud Victor kill.
Right, so I mean, standard isolation for Victor should work here. I mean, I'm imagining we're going to see like a loud kill and dump, but then it's going to be a matter of are the players able to exfil, or are they going to be able to set it up so that they can take the shot from afar, keep the investigation away from where the body gets shot, and be able to exfil that way. So this should be a fun one to see how they set it up. Because there's lots of ways to go about this, obviously. Fast ways, slower, safer ways. So this will be neat.
And I think we already see the two different approaches. Buff starting, tech crew start, grabbing the detonator, probably even bringing Dahlia down. And I was going to say Gordiniroy will start in the attic, which I also really like, but he's now replanning as well to another suit start for the time being. No, back to tech crew. I would have loved to see attic start, though.
But he didn't change his briefcase, so he's still got that briefcase on his person, which means he's got an empty loadout slot. So that's gonna be another quick replan from him.
Oh yeah, it's change number 2. Luckily, the empty attic room is an agency pickup you cannot miss, because if you're going for the vampire magician, you will see the briefcase in that empty room as well.
You go right by it. Buff missing the camera shot, so he's got to go a little bit around, but he's still going to be able to get Victor into this room, nice and isolated.
Great to see Victor get caught in this room. He responds to all distractions. You can even punch him in the face as long as he doesn't scream. I think you should be fine. A target lockdown
Right,
can be heard, but
yeah, those two tech crew guys will be a pain.
But yeah, tech crew starts for both, and it's about a 40-second advantage for Buff, who will then make his way to Dahlia and the balcony below. I think there are a couple options here. You can bring her down, but you have everything for the kill. You might as well go up the pipe. Curious to see which one works better. It will be a double order.
And Gordy chose to let Victor go. He took out the camera above him. He had him question marked back there, but he didn't opt to go knock him out. Now he's wandering around. I'm guessing now he's heading to the attic to get the vampire magician disguise instead of going up for the Dahlia kill.
Yeah, probably just setting things in motion, and now he will go for both of his Victor requirements. Same room still. And it's possible to catch him outside near the helicopter if you don't isolate Victor, but with a loud kill that will be also tricky.
Yeah, very tricky. We have Buff Guy who's he's setting up the entire room. Looks like he's planning on making this soundproof by potentially taking Victor into that bathroom, because this knockout chain is everybody in between here and there.
The two-door rule is the sound that always be mentioned during loud kills. If you are two closed doors away from the closest NPC, it ought to be soundproof, and at least in this part of Paris would be the case. So that means the drag towards the Sheik's bathroom, and that will be soundproof. That's a close combat. Heard.
Oh, you're right. Had to have been somebody. Yeah, it looks like it was the guard upstairs. But he's got a spot for the body in this room. As far as I can tell, is that closet full? I know he put the auction staff in that room, but
only one NPC to my knowledge, and Dahlia would have been a perfect second victim. So there are now two things to watch out for Buff as Gordy gets a restart, and we'll probably try that Victor ISO again. It's probably better to have him in that room, although you are going to be trespassing an awful lot. Ah, it's a ceiling shot. That's a 420 special. Or at least I remember his name. The question mark doesn't mean he's going for the fireworks, but instead he's investigating that ceiling shot, which will be the attic,
okay.
and actually perfect for the Vampire Magician. So I think that might have been what he was going for first try. Just didn't see the question mark.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
So yeah, that's very specific drag for the Buff Guy. Sort of in the corner for Dahlia, sort of next to the door. There is one notorious NPC, Sophus, Dahlia's personal assistant, who has some sort of psychic ability to find Dahlia at random points in time. And he should... So if Dahlia is in that corner, then he shouldn't enter that room, basically. Brilliant for Gordy. We can see now Victor right in the attic. Wonder where he will stop.
Amazing. Yeah, he's gonna have a little bit of a takedown chain if he's planning on nabbing him here. He might be trying to lure him a little bit further. But this is gonna be...
He got it.
Yeah, he did, and it's a perfect toss too, because it's just out of range of the guards too. Victor might still enforce that.
Oh, he doesn't, but he did react to the reaction, or the distraction, and he was the only one. Now it's a bit tricky, perhaps. And Victor will...
Yeah, he's starting to head out right now. Gordy's got to go if he wants to try and get him before he gets through that door. Big whoosh there. That's going to bring that guard around that corner. Should be able to get Victor here, but he's got to keep him out of sight until he can safely move him.
It's worrisome because of the peekaboo. The guard will take a unique route around these items, and this empty attic, or this attic area has some items which are quite tall, some aren't. But I think now back to regular cycles, and oh, that head is so close, or he could definitely see to Victor, although I wouldn't know.
Well, Buff has his kill set up. He's got a sniper rifle with him. Takes a shot. Nobody can hear it. It's soundproof, and he is good to go. So changes to the Sheik disguise, which is the best disguise you can get on the level. So he's not gonna have to worry about running into random enforcers, and he can just go straight out the front gates.
No enforcers whatsoever, and 6.5 minutes. Basically, first try. Might have been something early on, very quickly, but nothing major.
Yeah.
It gets the first point of this match. Very nicely done.
Very clean. I feel like Gordy's route definitely had viability. You know, I think this worked out really, really well for him. If you would have been able to get this going first go, I think we're looking at a lot closer timing between the two of them. But I mean, just Buff Guy doing a really good job of bringing Dahlia to him. Gordy doing a really good job of bringing Victor to him. So
Yes. And gets the first kill and probably sees the notification that there is no spin anymore, which is the official confirmation from the admin that there is a point awarded and Buff has the lead 1-0.
Well, at least they got the kill in.
And this was Gordy's pick, was Paris, correct?
It was, yes.
Yeah, so we're going into Santa Fortuna next, which is Buff's pick.
Indeed, Buff's. So Buff is obviously a favorite, or Buff's favorite 5 is probably the big 5, the 5 maps with 3 or more targets. And Santa Fortuna, he has shown some very crazy skills towards the later end of R7, so Buff remains the favorite here.
It's a very, very strong map for Buff, and it's a very, very frustrating map in general for a lot of players. So, and we can still see things go one way or the other, but Buff obviously has very, very clean Santa Fortuna, as we've seen in multiple matches in his history. This is going to be a tough one for Gordy to claw back, but it's totally possible. He's totally got the know-how and the player skill to do it. But going up against Buff, like that's a really difficult fight when you're already down to have to. Hey, guess what? Now you have to win Santa Fortuna against all people Buff. So.
Very nicely said. Definitely a situation you want to be in. Luckily, it's first of 3 maps, so if no matter what, we will see the third map, which is Whittleton Creek. Can already mention that this is also a specialty, maybe a first, that the random maps are shown in advance upon scheduling, so they can know which 6 maps may appear, and that would be Whittleton Creek as number 3, Sapienza, Gordini's home map basically, as map number 4, and then Mumbai as number 5, and in case there are some ties along the way, we'll see an ultimate decider in Dubai for the last and 6th map.
Yeah, and if we can see Gordy forced to that 4th map, then obviously we'd be in a better situation for Gordy, but it would make for one heck of a matchup to go to Mumbai for the 5th map. So
yeah, it has to be always 6 maps for 3 points, because 2.5 points each is a possibility, but it's sort of a fail-safe, because that would mean that there were some ties along the way, and obviously for these players the types of ties that we can expect is the photo finish ties. If they finish so close to each other, I don't think that these players would spend 45 minutes on any given map, but we need to think of a 6th map just in case.
Yeah, I think that's a very, very safe assumption. We'll have the spin here in 2 minutes. I always enjoy seeing how players pre-plan for their spins. Hey, what is it that I think I'm going to need? What slot am I going to swap out if I need to? So looking over at Gordy's, aside from the village bus stop, this is essentially the loadout that I do every time. The breacher might be a taser just to change it up, but you're basically anticipating the spin because you're trying to get into the map faster than your opponent can get into the map, and you can get your run started. I really enjoy Buff Guy starting Mansion Basement. That's also a very viable start here on Santa Fortuna. But I gotta say, I prefer the suit starts myself. So it'll be interesting to see what the spin comes up, because if there's a suit kill condition, then obviously you're gonna want to go with something like Gordini has set up. If it's kind of any and all disguises besides suit, Buff Guys is very, very strong too.
Nice. What's consistent between the two entire different loadouts at the moment is they do have the 3 main branches of tackling Santa Fortuna. They both have a silenced pistol. They both have a seeker somewhere planned, which is, at least for Jorge, a very versatile item. And
yeah, so necessary.
Yeah, you can be entirely logged out of the Jorge cycle if that doesn't happen, and you have to like resort to some hot shenanigans, which only happen like once every 6 minutes. So it's very useful. And the third one is some sedative item, and Gordy has the calmer with the suit start, giving him 4 darts, which can be distributed in 1 to 3 or 3 to 1 between the two methods. But Buff also has the sedative ready, a gold big proximity mine, which was great for getting the gardener start the other day, or the other week, I guess, in R7. There is no gardener this time, but there is another suit, second suit spin in 2 days. Rico Delgado, letter opener as P-Power, Jorge Franco drowning as band member, and Andrea Martinez falling object in suit. Now this this last one is actually the speedrun, the quickest Andrea kill in the map.
Excellent, because I don't know how to do this early doors, so this will be an education for me. But we were talking about how the Seeker is so necessary for Jorge, and in this instance, you have drowning for Jorge. So it's not just necessary; it's basically required at this part.
Yes.
So,
and this is so obviously roulette is not speedrunning, but if you have that speedrunning mechanics, then you can really accelerate this Andrea kill, because at least the Sasso speedrun, it might be even the essay in some sort, uses a falling object in the suit for Andrea, target lockdown, and then shoot the pot as she runs away. And if you sort of seen how it goes, it's probably worth, yeah, there you go, Gordy tries the lockdown and gets the quick kill, or tries to get the quick kill.
big whoosh though, and he's gonna get spotted. I was waiting for him to move. Buff guy is standing on the other side of the streets. Oh, but he's gonna get spotted too by one of the workers on the building. So both players a little bit of the same struggles here.
The positive for Buff is that he got the kill. He was just compromised by the... Oh! Buff was compromised by a construction worker. Gordy headshots a civilian on the street. Not what you want from controller aim, but they both have the Andrea kill figured out. And at this point, it is going to be just a minute or two of restarting, and then they can get the show on the road and make this a 2-target map. I think this is a really good positive for them.
Yeah, on a big map, when you have like a guaranteed quick kill on one of the targets, Gordy getting some bad luck as Andrea is gonna lock down further into the building. But if you can basically shorten a long map like Santa Fortuna just down to the 2 targets, that's going to be way more manageable, especially if you're talking restarts and stuff, because that's a whole lot of setup that you don't have to worry about anymore.
And as far as the other kills, it's body shots and another headshot for gordiniroy. That's...
Oh, jeez. I mean, it's impressive from where he's at. Does anyone know? Does he have his aim assist enabled since he's using control? I'm not trying to joke. I've seen this happen before, where people have those like snap to headshots for whatever reason, and it causes problems like this.
It can really help on, I guess, the short, medium length or distance, and then once you get to these faraway targets, it can be really frustrating. He's too good, that's also a problem, that with or without assist, he just...
Yeah, exactly. He's just, no matter what, his bullets are finding brains.
Buff just a tad too late for the shot with green guns. And we can see some frustration on the screen.
Gordy's changed some stuff, so it looks like he might be going for the slower way of getting Andrea.
Yeah, I think that's a very good approach, as in it's quick restarts, but they also add up, and obviously the alternative is to go for a surefire 3-minute kill. And at one point the loading times just add up and probably
Fuck
just...
this game. Well, I don't know why.
Oh my.
Yeah, exactly. And really cancel each other out. Yeah, we are seeing lots of frustrated restarts from both players right now, but So if this does end in a photo finish, I don't envy the admin having to do the addition here.
Yeah, if this is a photo finish, we'll just continue after your match tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. Buff guy got it. He's finally got the falling kill in the suits. Yeah, that was like at 15 seconds. So now the world is his oyster. He's got all the time in the world to get to an early isolation on Rico, to get over and Seeker Jorge. Looks like he's swinging back to grab the band member disguise or P-Power disguise. I'm not entirely sure.
Now it looks like band member, but both are viable at this point because Rico second, Jorge third. Something that also makes sense, but also, yeah, now I see the letter opener is a unique item. It's only in the Carter compound and Andrea's desk.
You are right. You are right. And so Buff is going to be heading up there right now. Should have a clear shot to it. It's right here, just on Andrea's desk. Yep, it's a quick, clean grab, and he's out.
Even fewer NPCs without Andrea.
He's taking out the security footage as well. Good delay there after he takes that shot, so he doesn't get seen in the window.
Very important not to get hunted. And he will never have yellow guns again, of course. Red is still a problem, but for now it is just 2 more disguises to get. And he is going for tattoo artist, and he is allowed, well, generally in the mansion as the tattoo artist, but I would say also Rico's office and the bathroom behind. I don't think you need to get through some frisks or get some phone calls ready. I'm thinking of the lawyer in Mendoza who is just passing a lot more if you don't have the required mission story items or actions, I guess.
Right. Buff is waiting around for the P-Power disguise right now.
And Gordy is just leaving the Andrea kill altogether. He'll go for this
later.
non-trespassing Rico kill first.
Okay. Buff is taking out the barman and is getting ready to take out P-Power as soon as he can get him around this corner.
He should be the one reacting. Once the question marks go away, yeah, only the P-Power. Looks so scary with the open door, but open window, but it functions as a wall. It's a reverse wall hack.
Yeah, which is weird. It's like the reason Haven is still broken is because they're like, well, technically, we also have some closed windows, so it averages out.
Net zero amount of wall hacks in the trilogy.
Exactly, net zero wall hacks. It's a different type of climate pledge. Right, Gordy going right in. He does get a little bit of camera action there, and so he is going to have to deal with those at some point, but plenty of places that he can do that, including here in the mansion. He's currently working on the P-Power isolation for Rico. And Buff Guy is circling back out to the main area of town. I wonder if he's going back for the band member disguise right now. Because, I mean, the good side of both of these remaining kills is you can kind of move the targets yourself. One with the Seeker, obviously, for the band member, but also as P-Power doing the mission story here, like Gordy is doing. So it really doesn't matter how they go about it, because there's some backtracking involved regardless.
I wonder if there was a change of heart from the Buff Guy and wants to get well, he can't now get a 5-6 minute timing, but he can get an early second cycle Seeker shot. I think that would be around 7 or 8 minutes. For the reasons you mentioned, Rico, tattoo artist, it's an isolation in this room. All you need to do is just interact with Rico, and most of the time you shouldn't be trespassing while talking to him. It's a kill that's a kill which can be done at any time, but Jorge is a bit different with that, because part of his cycle, he is closer to a not really viable bathroom or not really viable toilet. So I think time is the reason why Buff just wanted to go with Jorge second.
Yeah, and I think he's got a decent approach here too. Opting to go like cut across the corner of the mansion in order to get over to the coca fields. Oh, that's a huge whoosh. I mean, he ducks in time, and he's obviously not phased, so he knew. But my goodness, that freaked me out.
And just a last second crouch into the foliage helped him out. And 5.5 minutes, he's quicker than I expected, and yeah, it's just becoming a bit awkward, because now he's going to the shed, and now he would be going to the toilet to his left at the moment, now behind him. So I wonder if Buff wants to wait it out, or he has a backup for this secondary bathroom. Gordy?
Oh. Gordy. Oh no!
Fuck
He
this.
swapped to an illegal
This game.
item
Shit, sucks.
when he was still in the tattoo animation.
And if it was a suspicious action, then of course Rico would question it first, but now with an illegal item, he just runs for his life and
Why is his butt
Yeah.
shit?
is very quick
that's
about
so-
it.
If he had set down the tattoo pin just a little bit quicker, he would have been fine. But that's I don't know why he opted to try and take it out. I mean, my guess is his hope was to just take it out and then just immediately do the kill. And I didn't expect Rico to bolt that fast, so that's less than ideal. Buff is having to wait for Jorge to get into a better spot. He's going to try and do this moving shot as well.
So I'm
Does
curious,
manage to land it.
once
There's no way back.
Jorge is inside, I think he would go to the toilet closer to Buff, but once he's outside, he would still go to the piranha side. So it's right on the line, and I'm not quite sure. And there you go.
Yeah, looks
Never
like he's
doubt
going to throw
Buff.
one.
Never doubt Buff. He knows his angles.
Fucking hell.
Ah, there's another headshot from Gordy. He's opting to go for the faster way to do this now.
Wants to catch up and can't blame him.
Yeah, at this point, I mean, you kind of have to.
And the kill is done by Buff.
Wait, it's
Some question marks from a guard. He peekabooed Bushlard. Also happens. Also Buff getting really close to this coca field worker, but maybe with a tauntaun he gets an exit disguise. He does. And it's probably back to
fucking hell.
P power and then the mansion for Buff, and then probably mission story like isolation, and it's another headshot for Gordy. It's really not working out for him with this early kill.
No, and that's the thing that you kind of risk with this far thing. I feel like some of these bullets are also snapping to non-targets. Like he's miles away from that NPC and he's still getting body shots. So
Yeah.
I don't know if these bullets are going where he's trying to place them to, which is just so frustrating.
It might not be the most mechanical kill in speedrunning, but it is a speedrun kill which requires high precision and
Right.
different skill set than what these players are naturally good at, like improvisation, the setting up things. This is just has to be quick shots at a very specific time.
Like you said, it's mechanical. You know, you need to have it down and right, and you can't be having like non-target kills and body shots and all that stuff. And you know, we're talking about precision. It's I think that a lot of people would agree it's probably a little bit harder to pull off these types of shots on a controller, which both players are using today.
Yeah, absolutely. PC bracket control player faces off console bracket control player. God is one of the veterans who stayed with the controller. Yeah, I saw a message in this match. Wonder if that will change after this match. Just such an unfortunate kill for him.
Yeah, oh, it's so irritating. You can see him venting some frustration there by teaching these NPCs what for.
Yeah.
Well, Buff is heading to his final kill on Rico here.
And once he hops over this, and maybe... No, he's already non-trespassing. Was wondering if this construction site of sorts would be trespassing, but no. And I think it's now just either approach Rico or depending on cycles, he's quite close to the hippo anyway. Might see a meaty bone throw. It's mission story or mission story. What is quicker, I guess?
Oh no! Gordy finally gets Andrea to come out of the little house, and she runs back inside. I just don't understand.
Hey man, do you wanna like...
Just not having the time of it.
And it always just snaps to that street soldier or an NPC.
Yeah, and that's the thing, because he's trying to cause this panic, but those bullets need to get to where Andrea is. If it's hitting the bodyguards outside, it's not going to cause her panic the same way, and that's what's going to send her further in. So, I don't know why these bullets are snapping to where they are. That's an actual shot on Andrea.
So dumb.
Yeah. Oops, Buff came a bit loud. Enjoying the mission story. It's and with every body shot, it sort of creates a different panic, or like, as we can see, not every panic is good, because some will just route her up towards the other safe zone. This
Right.
looks promising. Nope, she
looks-
still goes upstairs.
That looked like one of the better ones that we've seen so far.
So the
It
problem
didn't
is,
look like it hit any NPCs leading to the villa. It was just...
I'm not familiar with lockdown mechanics, but I think it's something related to, you need to shoot them inside the house, so Andrea knows that the cartel safe house doesn't work, as Buff gets suspicious and
Got
saves it
suspicious
with
from
two
Rico.
comers.
But I don't think Rico reported him yet. That was a heck of a save.
So if it's not orange, so it wasn't illegal, so orange wouldn't be in the question. Nobody's being found and no exclamation point for Buff. He does get to go back to green guns, and that gets the third kill down. Very impressive save.
Did the maid hear that frontal? Oh,
He did! Oh no, it's compromised by... Wow.
no, so that pipe is a hostile area. And so she was looking up, or she was coming around that corner to see, and oh my gosh, that's devastating. Getting that far into Santa Fortuna, already having the final kill down, just needing to get to the garage so that you can use Rico's car as the exit and get out. And now you got to do all that again, not to mention the fact that you might have to restart this first part a couple of times if you can't get the panic to work the way that you want it.
Yeah, we don't know how consistent Buff with this first kill is, so he might have some extra frustrated restarts at this first kill. He had this spin down, he had all 3 kills completed, he had an untrespass in disguise. There was the question about the maid with the question mark, with possibilities of finishing before Rico was being found, because there was a cornered guard in the office. I think he would have been fine. So it is just that pipe which was, I guess, obstructing him from the finish and the 2-0 lead, but now it's a restart and no Andrea kill, just a bit too late.
Andrea kill. But still, like, I mean, Buff knows exactly where to place those shots because he's definitely gotten Andrea to go where he needs her to go with better luck than Gordy has had. Gordy just taking the shot a bit too far, and that guard's not going to hear it, so he's not going to spin. But he's sticking it out. He's still trying to see the timing, like where he's got to put that shot, when he's got to take the shot for the actual falling object kill. So you can tell he's still trying to feel it out, figure out, like, all right, what's going to make this the most consistent.
Yeah, that shot on the... There we go for Buff, that's the kill. The shot on the mansion guard is the crucial step, and I'm not sure if Gordy is getting that part consistently. Now I can see someone leaving on the minimap. But once it's a body shot for Gordy, I think it's always going to be the cartel compound and not the outside. Yeah. Buffy, the first kill, now wants to get this hidden stash, which is illegal. It's a gun.
Yeah, you have to be careful of that man sitting at the table because he can see you pick it up like real quick. Oh, Gordy gets her to run the right way, but he can't get his crosshairs where he needs them to be in time. And she's gonna run right under.
This can be so frustrating on a controller.
Yeah, you have to be so smooth with your movements.
Everything is allowed in terms of outside sources or helps, except when it involves another player or the shoutcast. I think that's the easiest way to concise it. You could look it up, the angle of the shot, but they both know it. Now it's down to the mechanical nuances and doing it on a controller in a match, which is just all the harder.
Oh,
What?
She's gonna get found
Who
trespassing.
the fuck are you?
Well.
Where the fuck did you? What the fuck?
Oh my god. And now it's red. Buff got a green chest passing, which is, I think the easiest way to describe it is when the chest passing meter goes 100% but not 101. It's a very specific but consistent way to get green guns chest passing, which happened this time, but he stuck around too long and couldn't really leave the area because he was going to have to use the wall, I guess, to get up. Oh, Gordy has the angle, but I think misses. The one time he misses.
Dang it. I feel like I thought that his crosshair was dead on, but, you know, you're taking a pistol shot from across the map. Man. I just want to see Gordy get this kill.
Oh, I think that was a tiny bit too late. Andrea runs
Just
over
too
the
late.
dead body.
Just too late. He's so close. He's so close. You know, at this point, he's got it figured out. Now it's just a matter of getting to execute it correctly one time, and then he can get into the rest of the spin.
Yeah, and then there's 2/3 of Santa Fortuna spin remaining, but let's not talk about that. Let's see if this kill is done soon. Oh, it's combat, just a bit too late. On the guard, he will get the wrath of Gordiniroy.
He'll think twice before seeing him next time.
Let's get that off work.
Honestly, this is one of the more impressive parts of Buff's run, is getting these cameras and not instantly getting spotted. I mean, it's a simple maneuver to do, but it's just one of those things that a lot of people, myself included, still make mistakes regarding.
Yeah, there are like two schools of getting rid of this camera. One is through that
As soon as he starts
window, which Buff did, and then you have to either stay in place or crouch under the window. You, in no circumstances, may run through that window because that's the reason for the hunted glitch, or not glitch, it's sort of intended. And,
Right.
and you can also shoot through the glass door if you aim at the box, keep aiming it as the door closes, and then you have an angle. As Gordy
Good
gets
job,
the
Gordy.
Andrea kill.
go get me a drummer.
That's fantastic. All right, excellently done. Good job finally being able to figure that out. I have to imagine that is beyond frustrating. If you've ever practiced roulette and you just can't get something to go the way that you want it to go, it is one of the most annoying things in the world to play it 150 times and get it once. So
It's
it's really not that far behind Buff at this point.
That's the great part. Yeah, it's 2 minutes, even less than that, 140. Buff has a tested route now, and with less backtracking. Remember, he came here as P power first, then went back to the village. Without that, he's now a good 2 minutes ahead of his previous run.
Yeah, hoping to get Jorge much earlier, which will severely cut down on time because he spent like a good 2 or 3 minutes dealing with Jorge before. He's gotta be quick if he's gonna try and get past this, because I know he's peekabooed one of the other guards.
Oh, that was
He's got
almost
so
full.
much whoosh.
Twice, actually. First for the other two upstairs, or like above the stairs. And Buff made it. Now it's an isolation in this office, but I think that peekaboo not going to work because so many
other peekaboos already have been taking place.
Yeah, only one at a time is what the game allows, and now there are 3 NPCs here. No Trank, but a Seeker for Rico,
does have that.
Yeah.
He's got that shot heard, and this wall is hackable, but the guard isn't going to come all the way in, so that door is going to protect him there.
Needs to wait until he's outside this bathroom, and I do remember some wall hacking, but Buff has been so many more times here, so once again, just need to trust him on this one.
Yeah, and Buff's here. I'm sorry, Gordy's here early enough that Gordy can get this this early isolation on Jorge. He doesn't have any of the things that he needs. I don't think he picked up the letter opener even from Andrea's office, so he's got some figuring out to do.
Oh, that's a good point. I think that's the... Oh, let's see now. Let's see it on the replay. I think he has, actually. Or Buff has, at least.
I know that Buff has the letter opener.
Yeah.
He grabbed it right after the Andrea kill, but before the band member. Right, Gordy with this early isolation, and he's gonna scooch this body right up next to the window so that it doesn't get seen by the maid and her infinite eye.
So now it's time for the Seeker shot for Buff, and much better timing. Even with the isolation, it's that part of the route where Seeker shot is just so powerful. You are not really concealed in the bushes in Santa Fortuna, in the smaller bushes, so it's a problem, but he will get another angle soon enough.
Yeah, and he's playing it patient, which I can respect here.
Miraculous Seeker shot for Gordy, not eaten by a mansion guard. It's something to record.
And he still does he still have his Calmer as well? Oh, that's a camera area, Gordy.
Sadly, it doesn't matter now because just gets caught on the camera, or I think he was going to either way, but the whoosh got full before he got concealed, and
yeah,
misses on Jorge twice either way. I think this was 3 Seeker shots, which means he had the Calmer at one point. Back to Andrea for Gordy.
Dang. Well, and you just hope that like he's gonna take that knowledge and he's gonna be able to get her faster, get right back into the rest of the run. Buff is gonna be able to take care of the drowning kill on Jorge once again.
Oh, almost got it. Maybe Andrea stops below. Oh, hunted. It's probably just too many. It's like spaghetti code for Andrea. That was psychic hunted. I don't think that was the guard.
Right. Too many bullets.
Yeah. He had it though, basically twice in a row. And now the guard.
Yeah, I can't get the Can't get the other shot to distract the guard. I like how he's starting that panic and then taking that guard shot to give him the little bit more time that he needs. But it is risky if you can't turn around quick and take that shot.
Yeah, this is now
Much cleaner
good
that
timing.
time.
And where do you
Yeah,
go,
just make sure
Andrea?
to work with him. Come on, Andrea, run out.
Green
Good timing
guns.
on the shot. Nice job. All right. Excellent. He's back in it, and you know that he knows that kill. So if he has to do that again, he can.
At this point, this is very not difficult to replicate, I guess. As in,
Yeah.
of course, it will always cost some restarts, but now it's a set plan of the shots, the distraction, and then waiting for Andrea. It seems to work out.
Buff's made it over to the village bar where he's going to get the P-Power disguise.
His last objective with the letter opener in hand already and Rico isolated in the upstairs bathroom.
Yeah, that's really what's giving him like the massive advantage right now is him just getting back up to the bathroom. The downside is he's gonna have to use that pipe to get there again, because obviously he's not gonna be able to use the mission story to have Jorge walk him in to his office.
I suppose unless you are allowed all the way inside.
I don't know. Are you unless you're escorted?
Yeah, that's the main question, which I'm not sure about. I think he caught Rico for the first time inside the mansion, so downstairs is fine. But then there are some disguises which get trespassing halfway through the stairs.
Right, like will it be a thing? Because I know even in Rico's office, like if you go into the bathroom, I think that's when Rico can get suspicious or whatever of you like leaving, like if you leave the area or something like that. So I don't know. Maybe I've just had some bad luck in the past, but
It's very deep inside mission story mechanics. What fails you, what only just throws a wrench in the plans, what can be salvaged. And of course with the target being down, it's another difficult triggers to manage. So
Right.
we'll see him very soon now. This
Yeah,
mail
he's-
will be looked at for sure.
yeah, he's taking extra extra care this time to make sure. She is far away, so I mean, if he's gonna do this throne melee, now is the time. If she's under that window, she will hear. She is just now finishing up her animation and on her way back. So, okay, good use of a pistol distraction there.
Yeah.
Keep her turned. Yeah, I didn't see the hostile thing pop up that time, so I don't fully know what's happened there. It might have been because of the mission story, because that might turn the bathroom hostile for Rico, that he was hostile climbing out of it. If somebody knows, please tell me. But Buff's gonna get out, taking the Rico's car exit.
This is the kind of spin where I think everyone just wants to see the 5 stars. The kills were done correctly, and now we can see it was done in SA. Nothing
Yeah.
compromised him, and we'll get the second point of the match now.
He's saved so much time on that second run as
Of course
well.
he has. Of course he finishes now.
Gordy with some frustration, but light-hearted frustration that
I finally had a plan.
Gordy finally gets the run going and Buff finishes. But Buff also had his own
I mean, come
adventures, which will be talked about after the match for sure.
on. The Whittleton Creek.
Yeah, and you know, I mean, good on Gordy for sticking with it and just keeping going when dealing with the frustration of doing the Andrea kill over and over and over until he got it right. So, because that, I have to imagine, was so infuriating. That's not what you want to have happen in a match. And we all have kills that we're not 100% with. Sometimes it takes us some going, but like that was perseverance to go for roughly 20 minutes of the spin, just trying to figure out what it is you had to do for that kill.
20 minutes is forever, even in Santa Fortuna. where you know it's probably just 2 tries from the opponent, but anywhere shorter, you know how you couldn't even get the first kill done, and how is he not done yet? It's obviously a very common saying.
You get in your head about it too, because you assume your opponent is playing flawlessly, you know. So it's and that's how you should approach it. You know, you can't rely on your opponents not being able to complete something. I mean, Buff almost was out after his first like real delve into the spin, and just had the issue that he had, obviously.
Yeah, poor Buff had to do this spin twice. In the end, obviously deserves the point. And Gordy as well, the round of applause for getting that kill and getting a run. And from that point, it is a straightforward drowning kill and a non-trespassing letter opener. He was going to get this within the 45 minutes by far. Just Buff was quicker this time as well.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and we don't know the road not taken, obviously, but Gordy, if he doesn't flash the illegal item on Jorge when he's that far along, and Buff Guy rips as late as he did, if we can assume that Gordy would have gotten the drowning kill, and then he just had to do the slow setup for the fall kill on Andrea, Santa Fortuna is going to go to him, obviously assuming all the way through that the rest of his stuff would be fine, that he'd get P-Power just fine, that he'd get the band member just fine, but I feel like everything else in that was safe for him. There's slower, better ways to do all that stuff. He would have been fine, he would have gotten out, and we might be looking at a different match result. We might be looking at a tie right now. So, I mean, just looking at this, right now we're on Whittleton Creek. Gordy has to win this to obviously stay alive, but specifically Gordy has to win this to go into Sapienza, and as you mentioned before, Sapienza is kind of home turf for Gordy. So if he's able to pull Whittleton Creek off, then we might be looking at a potential tie to take us to a 5th map, Mumbai.
Yeah, everything rides on this one. Actually, not what I wanted to look up. There obviously are stats.currymaker.net for all of these. I wanted to see Sapienza being the home turf indeed, with the most amount of map picks. That's 7 for Gordy, so that checks out. But his statistically best map is Whittleton with 4 wins out of 4 played. So...
Oh, wow, okay.
I would be really interested to see how this goes. And Buff being such an expert on all maps, but favoring the longer 5, might just be that this game keeps going, and obviously no one likes to see a sweep. So these are also to keep in mind, and then a map 5 Mumbai would be indeed something very special to see.
And Gordy doing a quick speed run for the warm up here. You gotta love it.
Just in case he gets 2 suit kills, it's a nice
Just
prep.
in case this spin comes up and has 2 suit kills, yeah, like that, like it usually happens.
Yeah, under half a minute, and Buff being on match point, 1 away from 3, 1 point for a win, half a point for a tie, which didn't happen luckily. As in, someone finished Santa Fortuna, but also Curry didn't have to spend 30 minutes doing a photo finish.
Oh man, that would have been just devastating. But we do have the spin live, and for fun, shall I read it out?
Yes, please.
We have 2 loud kills, which is lovely. We have a loud pistol on Janus, while this guy's is the construction worker, and we have a loud SMG on Nolan Cassidy, while this guy's is Janus's bodyguard. So, obviously a little bit of shuffle here with the disguises, but I mean, it's Whittleton Creek. It's not that big of a map, so nothing like we just saw in Santa Fortuna, where there's going to be that much backtracking. Can you get a loud SMG on this map? I think you can. I'm almost positive you can. So, yeah, I mean, players' inventory is basically open to whatever it is that they want to bring in, which is exactly where you want to be.
This has the potential to be really neat. Well, it will be 1 soundproof kill, perhaps, if you start construction and just run all the way around to the gramophone, which is very often used distraction isolation for Janus, get him down and Gunther as well. The loud gunshot would be heard by the 2 Janus bodyguards who carry loud SMGs, so just KO those 4 people. Moreover, Gunther has a loud pistol, so it's actually no loadout run if you just KO these 4 people, and for that of course you can bring darts, silence pistols or whatever you just want.
Yeah, and that seems like it's going to be the fastest way to go about it. It does also seem like both players approach.
Indeed, and slightly different routes towards the Janus property, going through the party, and Buff will also make his way inside through this white fence, but only temporarily.
Yeah, I like the directness of Gordy's route here. It looks like he might be going for that basement first. Oh no, I'm wrong. He's heading to the left side of the house. So, good use of knowledge there, making sure he takes out the camera. He'll get in right behind this Janus bodyguard right here. And he's got a minute before Janus comes downstairs, if this is indeed where he's going to isolate him.
So with downstairs loud kills, it's a slightly different situation than 2 doors being a bit more vague, because you can Buff gets caught.
Oh, yeah, that's a full whoosh from Buff, so that's gonna be a quick restart from him.
Yeah, I wonder what the best loud kill spot would be for Janus downstairs. I know the fact that you can shoot a loud gun in the basement, like standing against the secret painting there, Janus' old painting, and with all the doors closed, no one outside should hear it, so it would require some dragging down the stairs.
Right, and I'm wondering if that's what Gordy's doing by clearing out the basements. I feel like that's entirely a possibility. I also know it really depends on where people are outside in the backyard in their cycles, but there is also a spot where you can stand next to the locker. And that's also just kind of a safe bet, because then you can do a quick dump if it is a loud kill. But he has, did he trank Gunther?
Gunther has been tranked, so
okay,
this
so
might
we can
just
leave
be...
him up here.
Yeah, it is looking like more and more a shoot and dump, and also Meme Junkie says that basically confirms your information that depending on the garden guards, even the middle of the room is fine, which is very nice to know, but I think it will be just 2 bodies hidden and a kill somewhere in there in the next 30 seconds.
Yeah, and then he's got his Janus bodyguard right here. He's already picked up the SMG from before, so yeah, he's got all of the kill conditions that he needs, like right here. Okay, so that gunshot will be heard. So that was not the magic time of the cycle.
Yes, someone's
he
running
has
down.
grabbed. Yeah, he's that smoking guard is the one that usually will hear that from the backyard. I think he's got everything that he needs. I'm pretty sure he picked up his SMG from one of the 2 bodyguards. But I think he also left one on the ground.
Should be the case, yeah. Okay, I was just playing tricks on... The minion was playing tricks, but there is no more hidden stash. Gordy already picked it up, so naturally he has to be carrying an SMG by now. Now the question is, does he have a Seeker as well? Because then you can get an isolation in here. Gordy doesn't turn back around for a Seeker shot, just goes for clue number 2 and 3 in the Betty property.
Going all the way around, but he is going to be able to get in there. He's going to grab the lawsuit and the shovel. And wondering if he's trying to wrap this up before he's got to deal with Nolan.
Yeah, looking at him, also on the other side, been neglecting buff guy, who has been doing very similar things, just a minute and a half behind. But he used the soundproofness, shooting from next to the Arc Society picture. So he also has everything now, and at 3 minutes he's on this side of the map. Shovel already in hand, doesn't even need the one from the Batty Shed.
And he's even got Batty in the shed too, so like he'll be able to take him out.
Yeah, he will have 3 clues, but Gordy already has 3 clues, and Cassidy is going through the garage. It's a loud kill with one very important caveat, that your exit strategy is better if the garage door is open. Now, Gordy doesn't KO him. There, yes, he does. He does KO Cassidy too early. That's red guns from the guard.
Oh no! And I don't think he's realized it yet.
That cannot be anything else. That is not anything else.
He doesn't get his green guns back. I still don't think that he realizes it.
So tragic. He would be up to... he would get this point, but the found doesn't matter because it was cornered. Very late restart.
That's so rough. Well, Buff has landed the secret shot on Cassidy, and so now he's just waiting for him to come back into Batty's backyard here. I don't know if he has a counter shot ready for his bodyguard or not.
Now it all just depends on... Okay, there is one anyway.
Yeah.
But just depends on the garbage man, the other half of this garden, and you could make it soundproof, but Buff will just drag him a bit further away from the KO'd body. Extra safety.
He's already got all of his clues. He's just got to take the shot and basically be on his way out.
Loud SMG kill done, and unless a KO'd body is found, or, well, Cassidy for that matter, in the next 5 seconds, Buff will get this third finish and third point. Still green guns, and that seems to be the end of this match.
So, Gordy was so close. He was in such a good and prime position to walk away with this point and force a 4th map, but just that late rip, and good job catching it. Because yeah, I like I said, I don't think that he caught it right away. I didn't catch it right away. But I mean, good job to Buff Guy too. For he ran into some of his rips as well. But obviously, just a very very fast Whittleton Creek strategy, and it really paid off for him there.
Yeah, would have loved to see this match going for a bit longer. Would have been a 1-2 without that corner shenanigans, and of course Sapienza, and then maybe even Mumbai. But it is a 3-0 sweep for the Buff Guy, and very well deserved. And even though he recently woke up, he said that he doesn't feel the top of his game, and Santa Fortuna was trolling him a little, but otherwise very decent performance.
Oh, an incredible performance. I mean, what else do we expect? That's just the type of player that he is. But, but for a few ill-timed rips over on Gordini's side, obviously with the Rico kill and the letter opener, and then there at the end of Whittleton Creek, like, we're looking at a different result right now. We're looking at a tie game, or a game that's forcing a 4th map that's even deficited on Buff's side. So, it could have gone either way, and Gordy played really well, especially going up against our 7 grand finalist Buff Guy. But yeah, hats tipped.
Yeah, and actually, Gordy's own map pick was the one that was the least closest, I guess. But they also had some nice variable approaches. The other very 2 maps were actual back and forth, and could have seen very different scores after 3 maps. This happens to be a 3-0 Buff Guy win. which will carry us through the brackets and the upcoming matches, and 2 quarterfinals done and from the same half, so we now have the first semi-final guaranteed, made, scheduled, not scheduled because the time and date will be arranged later on, but some random person will play the buff guy for a spot in the Sunday final of the Providence Invitational, and that will happen hopefully either on Friday or Saturday, but we will wait on the other two other two quarters to complete and schedule from there. We have a match tomorrow, Crudy versus you, Gunther.
Yeah, that's what's happening. I'm guessing, if I had to guess, Crudy is incredibly nervous. Because if I was a roulette rookie, which we all know I'm not, I would be incredibly nervous. So, good luck to him.
I'm really hoping it's a good experience for both of you, obviously, and then...
Me too, in for fun, let me tell you.
Yeah, but you also picked Santa Fortuna, so it was a nice showcase as well.
I did. Yeah, I pointed this out to Buff the other day. We have picked and banned, all of our maps have been identical so far, but completely independent of one another. So we obviously think alike. Do we play alike? Well, that's for you, the viewer, to decide.
Perhaps we'll see on Sunday if it's so close to each other, maybe on a side-by-side. But of course, 2 rounds to go until then. You will play Crudy tomorrow at 8 p.m. Central European Time, and Barbecue and GK Punk. I think we've seen even more messages and developments over that, and it is looking more and more like a Thursday 9:30 p.m. Central European Time. So 1 match each day.
Can't wait.
Me neither. Tournament looking great so far. Thanks everyone for the support. Thank you. I see Barbecue message, but I'm trying to type in the message. Thank you, Gunther, so much for the early join again.
Yeah, of course. No, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
And GG's to both Buff and Gordy. It was a great match. And yeah, more from us tomorrow. It will be my channel as well, tomorrow at 8. So hope to see you there. Thank you everyone again. Goodbye.